Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, Pretty Black Women Feel the Pain as Black Men Walk Away. Let's get right into it.
The men in their 50s are probably one of the most insufferable demographics of men out there. These men are unhappy, financially stunted, mentally stunted, emotionally stunted, and still operating as if they are in their 20s. There's a lot of discord right now with younger women dating significantly older men because they think that these men have it together. They think that these men are mature. They think that these men are financially secure, and they think that these men are able to provide them with a life that a much younger man may not be able to do. And that is in fact not the case. Most of these men that are in their 50s and they're looking to date significantly younger women is because they are not together enough to even date the women that are in their age demographic. So they go after these younger women to ultimately steal the youth of these women. These men are bitter, they are controlling, they are manipulative, and they are extremely unhappy with their lives. Most of them have not put in the work. They don't have a career. Most of them don't have a home. Most of them don't have the finances. And a lot of them are stuck in their ways and jealous of these women who have their whole future ahead of them.
I gotta ask a question, right? How do you steal someone's youth? Right? Did someone steal your youth? Okay, this is an older woman who's saying that black men or older black men, they date younger women to steal their youth. As if the young woman could give us their youth. They can't. We just find them attractive. That's all, right? And you don't got to be 50 years old to know that younger women are attractive, okay? But these are the shaming techniques and tactics that women use when they're not only 50, 40, and they're 30, okay? And as they get older, yeah, you can't date someone your age because, you know, in your 50s, you definitely want someone when you're 50 years old as a man, right? That would be the preferred choice, but we date younger to still youth and because we can't date no one our age. Anyway, we heard it before, but we have another woman who has the same kind of feeling, the same kind of sentiment about older black men. Let's hear what she has to say.
Dating over 50. Erectile dysfunction. Y'all need to go to the doctor and see about that. Ain't no way a body part of mine ain't working and I don't go to the doctor. Now y'all need to go to the doctor. Now listen, this ain't just my experience. I talk to women all over. And I just left the Black Women's Coalition and they said that's the number one problem. Erectile dysfunction, aka ED. Get it together. Y'all got to get it together. Y'all got to get it together. You cannot expect to pull up new to a future woman, wife, girlfriend, side piece, and you got ED. It ain't going to work. Ain't going to work, sir. Unless you wealthy and you going to shower with a whole bunch of gifts. And then after a while, it's going to be like, no. Go to the doctor. Take a pill, take a shot, get a surgery, buy you another one. I don't know what you do. But got to fix that, y'all. Got to fix that. That's all I'm saying. You got to fix that. I don't know if ain't nobody told you. You know. Something wrong with that thing there. You know there's something wrong with it, right? Go get it fixed. This goes all the way back to the get healthy. You got to be healthy. You can't expect to get no woman pull up to her and think you're going to have an intimate relationship and ain't nothing to be intimate with. How that work? Listen, like I told y'all, at the Black Women's meeting, that was a major issue. That was the first thing on the docket, right? ED. Listen, y'all. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, look it up, figure it out, find you a doctor, and go to him. And follow the directions. You know black men don't like to follow directions. They do their own thing. Well, this problem right here requires you to follow.
All right. You said enough, okay? And look, I get it. She's right. I'm going to keep it real with you. She's right. I know this as a health professional. For those who don't know, welcome to my channel. My name's Call Me Shape. Well, the channel's called Call Me Shape. My name is Shape. And I'm a personal trainer outside of being a YouTuber, okay? And the stats are like this. 30% of men over age 30, 40% of the men over age 40, 50% of the men over age 50, and the number keeps going up for erectile dysfunction. Now, honestly, it's not surprising to me. The lifestyle and the diet that Americans are eating, the standard diet, right? The standard American diet, which they call the SAD diet, the standard American diet. You know, it contains a lot of fat, a lot of meat, a lot of protein, not that many antioxidants, okay? And ultimately, all that fat makes your blood sludge, right? And it makes it hard for you to get an erection, okay? If you eat fresh fruit and vegetables, you could return all this back to the way it was designed to be, without Viagra, without any pills, without any statin drugs, stuff like that. I don't recommend that. But hey, if you want to go down that route, you can go down that route. Okay, I say get it better the natural way. In fact, there's a book that recommends this. It's called The Penis Book, okay? I'm going to just keep it real with you. By the way, I recommend this book. If you go to my Amazon affiliate link, I recommend this book because the book's actually about healthy eating, right? It's by a penis doctor, and it's about healthy eating. And some of the members, my subscribers talked about that book, and it said it helped them, okay? So you can check out that book. Just hit the affiliate link below, and you guys could correct that problem. That's a big problem, right? But even though some women have issues with men over 50s, there are women that are very happy about men over their age of 50, okay? Like this lady, okay? She's very happy dating men in an age, well, older men. Let's just say that, okay? Listen to what she has to say and we'll respond.
Story time. I'm officially dating an older man and it has been 2 months. And these are some of the things that I have noticed that have been absolutely fantastic. Okay, firstly, this man is so intentional about everything he does all of the time. It's like he's thinking for himself ahead. He's thinking for me. He's thinking what needs to be done. He's thinking how can he be impactful. Okay, I'm visiting a state that has Philly cheesesteaks. This man took me on a Philly cheesesteak tour from the Philly cheesesteak he believes isn't as great to the medium Philly cheesesteak to the best Philly cheesesteak. Literally driving around the entire city all day to get me to try all Philly cheesesteaks so I can say I've experienced a true Philly cheesesteak. Like, the effort it takes to think of that. This man has not only listened to me in terms of what I'm doing, even with my finances, but has even implemented things to make me make more finances on my own. He literally said he wants me that even if we don't work out, God forbid, I will be good and I will even learn how to do a lot of things on my own. Like, do you think young men be doing that? Okay. And I understand everyone's different, blah, 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 but there is just a certain level of maturity and honesty that comes with dating someone like this. When we first met in Jamaica, we were staying at a resort. He was headed back to the U.S. and I was like, are you going to miss me when you leave? This man talking about, I don't know, I haven't left yet. Bruh. I mean, it hurt, but it's real and it's honest. And he's very honest, even when it hurts. But I understand that when he says something sweet, like he loves me, that he means it. So he's not going to tell me what I want to hear per se, but he's going to tell me the truth. And that eliminates a lot of doubt, a lot of questioning where we stand and what's happening and blah, 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 because he just keeps it 1,000 with me. Even when I want it to be 100, he keeps it 1,000. And it's refreshing. I learn a lot. I try new things. He's trying a lot of new things as well. He's very open to trying new things. And this is something that not every man is like. Not everyone is like. I'm just blessed. Okay. And I actually made him take a personality test when we first started dating because I needed to see what kind of personality he was. I have a psychological background. I got my minor in psychology. So after taking the personality test, I was like, oh, he's very open to new experiences. Like, we gonna be good. Anyway, dating an older man. I might make this a series because...
All right, we had enough of that. Some women just be going on and on and on and on. Anyway, so her thoughts are she actually likes older men, okay? But, you know, I take this with a grain of salt because I think she's older too. I think she's like 36, 37. So maybe she's complaining about the men her age not being a certain way or whatever, you know, because when you're around the same age as a man in your 30s, yeah, we usually like, we're not the we're not the best because we don't have great experiences with women our age when we're in our 30s, okay? But an older man might be a better fit for you, okay? But the things she's describing, taking her to 3 different Philly cheesesteak spots so she could get the full Philly cheesesteak tour, any broke man could do that for you. That's not a wealthy man. That's not an old man. That's not specific to any man, okay? Maybe that's just a considerate man. I'm plant-based, I'm vegan, so I'm not taking you to any Philly spot at all unless it's a Philly cheesesteak place, which, by the way, I have one of my favorite places in Palm Beach, Florida. Dina's Cheesesteak's a great Philly cheesesteak place in Florida. Anyway, we have more black women that talk about love dating older men, okay? So some women don't like older men, some women do. Isn't it interesting that the younger women like older men? I think that's fascinating, which allows us older men to date younger women, and even though women complain about it, they can't stop it because it's a mutual attraction. So let's hear what she has to say about dating older men.
Older men are very old school. They lead, they provide, they protect, and they want you to follow their lead. And the thing is, they don't even comprehend the whole feminine, masculine energy discourse because to them, that style of dating is all they know. So if they offer you something and you say no, for example, if they offer to give you a ride or come pick you up, but you're like, no, I want to get there on my own. Or if they offer to take you to dinner, but you want drinks because it's more convenient for your schedule. Or if they offer to help you with your coat and you're like, no, I got this. If you're not willing to receive what they offer, they're just going to think that you're not into them or that you're not compatible with them. And because they value positive and energizing energy, they're not going to want to spend time with you. So if you really want to benefit romantically from dating older men, you have to be in your feminine energy. I want to date men in the 40s.
I agree with that. Well said. Okay. She's straight to the point, very simple. And she says if you want to date men in their 40s and their 50s, you got to be feminine. And I agree with that. Older men could have more money and they're less tolerant, okay? That girl says they have ED and they don't have to, okay? Some of them are fit, some of them eat healthy, some of them eat their vegetables, okay? Some of them don't. If you're not, I'm strongly recommending you do because ED is not cute, okay? ED is not cute. And honestly, you're on your way to a heart attack, okay? But here's another woman that talks about dating in the 50s, okay? Because we all know that no matter what age women are, they're still delusional, okay? And she might be one of them, okay? But let's listen to what she has to say about dating in her 50s.
You know what, I was just thinking, and I came on here to just ask anyone else too. Especially, you know, my crowd is over 50 people, right? And I was on a dating site, and I'm not anymore. You know how you put in your bio and then you add your list of desires or interests, and then when someone sort of, connects with you, and you will hope that, it's so crazy, you will hope that if I put my interests, what I'm looking for, what I want, what I desire, that you wouldn't have tried to connect with me unless you agreed with what I said I wanted. So this happened to me, one time before, and well, more than a few times, okay? First of all, you men will try, but to my over 50 peeps, I want you to get this, okay? By this time, you know what you want, you know what you don't want, okay? You should clearly know that. And so I am just asking my over 50 peeps, okay? I love men. I'm into men, okay? So I'm not saying this for any other gender, or if it's unknown, or if you're struggling, with whatever it is that you're going through, okay? So don't step to a female unless you know a matter of fact that what she is looking for, what she is desiring, especially if you're on a dating site. Don't step to a female knowing that you're not what she's looking for. Don't even try it. Just some advice, or you'll be wasting your time. Especially for me, especially with me.
I think anyone dating women like this is definitely wasting their time. Whether you try to appeal for what if you are what she's looking for, you're not what she's looking for. Lady, what you're looking for is not looking for you. And that's the issue. The people that are looking for you don't match what you put on your profile because, one, they don't read. So, of course, they ain't read your profile. And, two, they're connecting with you more on a physical, I'm guessing a physical appearance. They accept your age, okay? But you can't be, beggars can't be choosers. You can't be, oh, don't match with me. I'll let you read. And I see girls like that all the time in the comments. Usually, when I see that, if I see that on a dating profile, I hit X right away or swipe left right away because you ain't going to finna tell me what I'm finna do. Okay, you already proved to me that you way too masculine, okay? And that's the issue with a lot of women over the age of 50, over the age of 40, over the age of 30, and they're stuck in their ways. There's nothing you could do about them. You cannot save them. As a man, you cannot save them, okay? But, okay, there are some women that are in their 50s that don't quite look like they're in this 50s. Like, for example, this lady's 52, and she talks about a dating story about dating a man that may have been unaware that she was in her 50s up front because she looks really good. So some black women do age well. And let's hear her talk about her dating experience as a black woman that aged pretty well into her 50s.
Hey, happy Friday Eve. I hope you all are having an amazing day. So I wanted to come on here and talk about this guy that I just recently met, add to the Chronicles of Dating at 52. And so about 3 weeks ago, I met this man at Starbucks. I was there getting my drink. I was waiting for my drink, and he walked in, and I saw him, and I was like, "Ooh, he's attractive." And he looked over at me, and then I realized that I was staring at him. So I, looked away. I don't know why, but that was just the reaction that I had, is that I realized I was really staring, and so I looked away. And I went to go get my drink, and as I was walking out, I had to pass him. And in passing, I looked at him, and I spoke, and he spoke back. And as I approached the front door, I looked back, and I realized he was still looking at me. And so he motioned for me to come here. So I was like, okay, all right, let me go over there. That does not happen often. So I was like, okay, hey, I'm at Starbucks and I'm meeting somebody. Okay, all right. So I walked back over towards him, and we struck up a conversation. And while we were talking, we realized we had a couple of things in common. One being that we both had been in the Dallas area for 4 to 5 years. We both moved here. We both moved here from Chicago. So before I lived here, I lived in Chicago for a couple of years. And then 3, we were both from Seattle. So 2 black people that are from Seattle. I don't know if you have never been to Seattle. The black population isn't that big. And typically, everybody knows everybody. All the black people, generally, you're like one person removed, or, relatives or something. So, I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I don't know this dude, and so I didn't know how old he was. But because I didn't know him, I figured, and he did not look older than me, I figured that he must be younger. So that was in the back of my mind, but we exchanged information. And he instantly, started texting me. And as we're texting back and forth, I did ask him how old he was, and he told me he was 39. And I laughed at this on the aside, because one of my girlfriends, I was telling her about this, and she goes, "Oh, he's 39. Did he have a problem with you being 52?" And I was like, no, I instantly told him I was 52. And I'm actually a grandma too, so I told him that too. And he didn't have a problem with it. But, I'll say this. Most times, men do not have a problem with it. It's typically us women that have a problem with dating men that are younger than us. I, for one, do not have that problem. I'm all about equal opportunity, grown-ass man. So if you're a grown man and you have the emotional intelligence and the ability to be intentional, that is what's important to me. Yeah, of course, I don't want to date someone that's in their 20s. Early 30s can be a little young, but it's about the man. So, because just as much as I can find a man that's 30-something years old, late 30s, early 40s, that don't have his shit together, I can find that same man that's 52 and over that ain't got his shit together, or don't know how to plan a date, or don't know how to be intentional. So
Very interesting she said that, because in my personal opinion, I'm 37 and she's talking about dating a guy 39. I wouldn't date a 52-year-old woman, okay? But I wouldn't be surprised if a 52-year-old woman would date me. Now, my personal view is that, one, I don't have any children, so what can a 52-year-old woman do for me, especially if she's a grandma already, okay? Now, shout out to her. She does still look younger, right? And that's a good thing. I think it's better for a woman to be 52 and married, because that means your husband got to enjoy you and you still look young, right? And if you guys are, you have all your kids together and you have your grandparents together, even better. So now you're grandparents and he still has a young looking wife. That's great. But for someone my age to date an older woman, I don't see the point in that. Maybe guys, let me know if there's any value you guys dating a woman in her 50s. I don't see none. A woman 13 years older than me, I don't see none. I'd rather do 13 years younger, right? That'd be 20 for me. I'm 37, so now 13 years younger would be 24. I've done that before, actually. In fact, I do talk to women 24. So 24, 52, I'm going with 24. But I'm curious about this, though. In the comments, I want you guys to answer me this. At what point do women switch from they have to date a man older than them to where they're open to dating younger men? Because I thought about this. When you start talking about this, I'm like, at what, is it age like 41? Is it age like 42? Like, what age do women say to themselves, like, you know what? I can't keep getting older. I can't keep dating older. Especially because, like I said, the previous video, a lot of you men, y'all might have ED, okay? And I feel for you. But if you're 50 or older, half the, like 50% of men, or if not more, have ED, okay? And you guys can easily get that taken care of. Please check the link in my description, my Amazon affiliate link. There's a book that I recommend there. It has a large eggplant on it. A real eggplant, right? Pause. But it's symbolic to try to say that you should eat plants and vegetables to make sure your eggplant can still grow, okay? And that's good blood flow, okay? Because if you eat healthy food, you get good blood flow. Compared to processed foods, you get blood sludge. Anyway, but there are more women that are saying they're not having a good experience dating in their 50s. What a shock, okay? What a shock. Let's hear what this lady has to say, and we're going to respond.
So, I dated a colorist in my 40s. Both his parents were from the South, African American. He was African American, very light though, freckles. I was the darkest thing he ever dated. He had two sons. Both of them, their mothers were Spanish. One of his sons married a Spanish lady and had a little boy. So his grandson was light, bright, damn near white, with curly hair. It was the best thing that ever happened to him. And during our first couple of dates, what are you? What are you? What are you? What woman? What do you think? And I had gotten this almost all my life. What are you? And my mother's black. Still, she's not African American. Yeah, I just did black. And my father was Puerto Rican. He's deceased. But when people ask me, I would always say black. So everyone knew he was a colorist. We just didn't use that term. So I'm proud to say I've just learned it on social media. So even friends would see us out and be like, okay, I see you got you a black woman. She's not black. He was quick to correct them. And if someone asked me, like we were out and people would be like, oh, where are you from? What do you know? I don't know why that's appropriate anyway, but I would be like, I'm black. And it bothered him, and it really bothered him. And it was just really surprising to me because he was very light and I just didn't understand like what the effects were to him. Growing up, I remember my daughter's 32 now, and her father's extremely dark, okay? And she was born very light with light eyes because his mother looked like that. And people came to me and said, I know you're glad she looks like you or she looks like his mother. I know you're glad she's not dark. It be your own people. It be your own people. Listen, I grew up in an age, and I know there's some sisters on here that can testify, and it is just an ingrained thing, and it's no shade. It is what it is. I know women that can testify that we grew up, knew, or are that person that was like, I'm not going to have no baby with no dark nappy head person because I want my children to have good hair. I know people like that. So
We might beat the man up over there. I mean, them noodles and oxtails look kind of good, but it's been ingrained in us. It's our own people. My grandmother talked about the paper bag test where you had to be lighter.
All right. She's going into details. I only wanted to use this video to show that people have all types of issues dating over 50, okay? And I really want women to look at this and say to themselves that life doesn't get easier with dating as you get older, okay? She's talking about dating a man in his 50s. The dude is clearly, you know what I'm saying, against dark-skinned people for whatever reason, and I honestly don't care, okay? It just shows you can be ignorant when you're older. It can be ignorant when you're younger. That's why women, y'all really need to seize the opportunity in time and date a man, right? Get serious with a man in your prime, in your 20s and early 30s, right? After 35, it's going to be hell and high water, okay? And I really hope, because I know some women watch this channel and they complain in the comments, and I'm glad you guys are destroying them in the comments, okay? But, again, if you didn't believe me that dating is hard for women in their 50s, as you probably would assume so, I got more proof. I got more evidence. Here's another woman, high-calorie woman, that has a problem dating in their 50s. What a shock. Okay, let's see what she has to say and we'll respond to it.
As an almost 45-year-old woman, I never thought maturity would be at the top of the list for what is a deal breaker if it is not present. But the lack of maturity of the men who were in my comments on my video, I am so thankful for this gentleman. Because it gives me a sprinkle of hope that all is not lost. Because I was literally saying, I have to take myself off of TikTok. I'm going to have to take myself off of TikTok in order for me to continue to believe that God can make it happen for me. That somebody is out there that will possess the respect, the dignity, the morals, the values, the maturity necessary to even date me. Because after I did that video and the way men showed up in that video, and it was not all of them, but I could probably count on two hands how many men showed up respectable in my video. So the way men showed up.
Okay, she keep going on about the video. I only and I started this video a little later into it because I watched it and I realized it had nothing to do with what I want to talk about. But she said this point right here. She said she was almost took herself off of TikTok because she felt like she didn't want to stop believing that God wouldn't send someone to her that was mature and would respect her and blah, blah, and this and that and that and that, okay? And she's 45. So here's my commentary for this 45-year-old black woman, okay? You talk about maturity. You talk about respect. How immature is it to not take care of your health, okay? You seen the lady earlier talking about ED, okay? ED is the male problem of being obese, out of shape, overweight. You look like a pregnant woman. I know a lot of men, right, after a certain age, they just got that gut, okay? That bear belly, as they call it. But she got the double chin. She looks a little high calorie. She got the double neck, Listen, and look, she probably could be a decently attractive woman. She got good cheekbone structure, okay? But she didn't respect herself, and she wasn't mature enough to know that men care about a woman's looks, right? Even a woman in her 40, if she's 40 years old, 45 years old, doesn't realize that your looks are important outside of just putting on makeup and a wig. Women would that's the bare minimum for them. They always talk about, oh, you guys the bare minimum. Y'all the bare minimum. Makeup and wigs is the bare minimum. And we don't even want that. That's the minimum for y'all. That's the bottom for y'all. That's the floor for y'all. We don't even want that. You know what the bare minimum for men, right? Fit, feminine, friendly, right? Rest in peace to the Godfather. He said it the best. That's the bare minimum for us. But still, women get on God's internet and complain that men is this, men is that, when they're no better. These women are not the best of the best, right? We've seen a woman in her 50s that looked pretty good, right? This lady versus this lady, night and day. Gizzard neck, you know what I'm saying? Healthy neck. Okay? Night and day. But they complain. It's always the big ones complaining. Okay? And now we have another big one complaining. And I'm going to let her speak. And then we're going to respond.
Dating and being over 50. Well, first of all, the dating pool is like dumpster diving. Somebody's used products that was on the shelves representing new is thrown in the trash for you to retrieve and say, oh, this is still new. It still has a wrapper on it, or it just has a crack in it, or it don't smell bad, or it was just in the trash. So I got to dig in the trash to find a piece of gold that might not be there, or to try to throw it back in the trash because it didn't work right in the first place. Give me a break. I am tired of the dating pool. First of all, it had pee in it. Dating.
I think it's funny to me that women complain about the men that are over 50 as if all these black women age over 50 gracefully. It's clearly not the norm. It's rare. Okay, out of all these women, I've shown you all these women over 50. Only one was really fit. So we have unfit. Okay, this lady's fit. I got to give her that. Okay, so 2. We got 2 for 2, right? 2 for 2. Unfit, young, unfit. And this lady was complaining about, oh, you can't get hard, you got ED. How could someone get hard looking at you? Baby girl, the only thing you could get me is hungry because you got them kind of arms that you know you can cook. She got that elbow. You ever seen that meme with the elbow? She got that elbow, okay? Look, I got grandmas and aunts that had that elbow, I understand. But the reality of it is, my grandparents didn't get it. What I understand now is that you got to take care of yourself, okay? My dad actually just texted me this morning. My dad was like, I need to start strength training ASAP. Right? And I'm like, what got into him? I mean, he seen me last night, you know what I'm saying? And we were hanging out, you know, and I guess it just clicked to him like, damn, my son got fit. He's about to be 40 years old. He stayed fit because, yeah, I've been in the gym. I've been telling him to work out. Hasn't been listening to me. But now in his 60s, he's like, I need to get fit ASAP, okay? And this is what happens to a lot of people. They wait to the very end to start saying to themselves, I need to improve myself, okay? The difference between my dad got money. My dad's a millionaire. So he's trying to be a fit, wealthy, older man, okay? And he's smart too, okay? So, and he has no problem dating because he dances salsa. And anyone that dances salsa knows that there's a lot of women that dance salsa. By the way, men, if you want to meet women, just go salsa dancing, right? Join the salsa crew. I've watched my dad have the time of his life with different women. Not that he's a serial dater or whatever, but, you know, he got divorced and it just seemed like he had options, you know, in his 50s and in his 60s. With women, even though women in their 60s, they don't have that many options, okay? So I say this to say this to you guys, okay? What's the takeaway from all this? Take care of yourself now. Whether you're 30s, 40s, whatever age you are, take care of yourself. Because a lot of people clearly are not going to, and they're going to suffer. They're going to be overweight. They're going to be out of shape. Health is going to be an issue. And a lot of them not going to be able to screw anymore without a blue pill or Viagra. And my friend, that ain't worth it, okay? It ain't worth it. Okay, and so all you ladies that think that y'all deserve the best of the best, even when you're clearly not in the best shape, you get a big fat L, okay, for a loser. Because now if you think things are bad in 50 or 45, my friend, you're literally at the end of life when it comes to your dating cycle is practically over, okay? Now you're gonna have to share a man for sure. For sure. If you are even lucky to get a man, you have to share a man. You know what kind of man you gotta share? You gotta share an average man. Yeah. You should have striked when the iron is hot. Should have striked when the iron is hot. Anyway, like this video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.